Hi, I'm Liz DiTomaso, former attorney and fitness professional turned certified life coach. This is your weekly Coaching on the Go video. Last week, I talked about the void, which I defined as this space in time where you've lost something, whether it's a job or something else in your life that was meaningful, and you're not quite where you want to be yet. It's kind of that in-between space. The door behind you shut, the door in front of you is not opening yet. You're trying different handles, different knobs, and nothing's opening. That's what I was talking about on last week's video, that void, and 3 things you can do to just get yourself through the void. That video really resonated with a lot of you, so I thought more about the void. And what I want to talk about this week is really the part of the void that's not super fun, and the part of it that kind of really stinks. The pain and the suffering that comes along with the void. It's inevitable, right? It's inevitable to all of us that we're gonna have pain and suffering in our lives. You can't live a human life without having that. But what I wanna really talk about is how to reframe the pain and the suffering you experience during the void in a way that it actually creates an opportunity for you to change or at least confront things that are no longer working for you and come out of that void in a better place than you were when you entered it. There's 2 authors that speak a lot about pain and suffering and that void and how to use it as opportunities that I've encountered that have said some of the greatest things that have helped me. One author, her name is Glennon Doyle, she talks about pain being the thing that creates character in us. Without painful experiences, you probably wouldn't have some of your favorite traits that you have, whether it's humility, patience, perseverance. All of those things come through experiencing obstacles and overcoming those obstacles in those painful situations. She also talks about how wanting to create a new and better life for yourself means that you have to let go of your old life. So you have to be okay with losing a former identity to gain some new perspective in life. There's another author, Eckhart Tolle, that talks about suffering in that void more from the spiritual perspective, where he essentially says that when we suffer, if we're aware of our own suffering and aware of the emotions that we're going through, we can actually use that suffering to transmute ourselves and to, again, get closer to who we really are, which is really below the surface of any identities. So for example, if you lost your job, I know I can relate to that. If you heavily identified with that job and that role, so let's say your title was director or CEO, and you lose your job, and you're all of a sudden stuck in confusion and pain because you really identified with being a CEO or a director, what you have the chance to confront is the fact that you're putting your identity and your sense of self into your career and into your role. So it's a chance and an opportunity for us to really heal patterns that are not serving us. Personally, I've had an opportunity to heal unconscious spending patterns with money that were not working for me. I was making a salary where I didn't have to really pay attention to what I was spending, and now I'm not. So I was forced into this void that was very uncomfortable and painful of confronting that pattern in myself. And actually, in a way, this has been an answer to a prayer, because that's a pattern I've wanted to confront for a while, but I just wasn't doing it without being forced to. So in this video, to wrap it up, I would ask you to look at your pain and your suffering if you're in the void. See if you can turn the perspective into one that creates an opportunity for you to see how you can potentially come out of the void being more of who you really are and more of who you always wanted to be before you entered the void. Maybe you have to face a very painful pattern that you have, but you wouldn't have to face it outside of that void. Do your best to use that as an opportunity. Personally, I believe that's the best thing that we can do when we're in pain, is to see where we have the opportunity to confront things that are just not serving us. If you need assistance with that, please comment below. I'm happy to help. If this video helped you, please share it with all of your family and friends and subscribe to my channel. I will be back with another video, and I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you watching.